Her diary had no words. It was filled with tears. Every single page had a tear marking it. The very first entry had a tear here in the corner. And every single day she would cry and then turn the page, letting the tears fall onto the next line, the next word, the next sentence, until she had cried her way through the entire diary. But why? Why was she crying every single day? Well, the story starts like this. He looked at the beautiful bride in his bed and realized he didn't know her at all. They had never spoken a word to each other. They had never laughed together. They had never cried together. He had never made her smile. But you know what? The more she cried, the happier she became. And when that happened, something wonderful occurred. Her sadness vanished, leaving behind a feeling of complete and utter joy. And from that day forward, she never cried again. Don't ask me how. It just made sense to her. Crying was her way of speaking to the universe, of telling it all her pain and sorrow. And the universe, in turn, would listen to her cries and make things better for her. And now that she was his wife, he knew he had made a terrible mistake. She had been an ordinary girl who lived in an extraordinary palace. She woke up the next morning and the sun was shining through the window. She looked over and saw the prince sleeping peacefully beside her, and for the first time in a while, she stopped crying. Maybe, just maybe, this marriage could work out after all. But then she remembered she had left her best friend behind. And as she thought about how much her friend would miss her, and when he first saw her he fell in love, he asked for her hand in marriage. And even though she didn't know what to say, her parents forced her to accept his proposal. On the day of her wedding, she cried because she didn't want to leave her parents' home. She cried because she was going to leave her best friend behind. But mostly she cried because she was going to marry a man she didn't know. This was her home. These were her parents. And this was her best friend. They would do everything together. They would laugh together, cry together, eat together. And they shared a special bond that only best friends can share. Then one day, a handsome prince came to visit. He was the son of a neighboring king and queen. The prince, too, felt sad on their wedding night. She cried the first night. But then something incredible happened. And so every night she would cry herself to sleep, each tear falling onto the pages of her diary, each tear a silent scream of anguish and despair. So she cried and cried until one day she had no more tears left.